Hello, parents and caregivers. I'm so excited to be back on brightspotparenting.com posting a new video blog for you guys. It's been a while. I've been at summer camp with my kids and life has been busy, but I'm happy to be back here. And the inspiration for this new blog post is an article called The Silent Tragedy Affecting Today's Children by occupational therapist Victoria Prooday. It's actually made its rounds. It became viral because I really think it resonated with a lot of parents. It certainly resonated with me, and it's something that I really believe in. And I've had this article kind of in my back pocket in my saves for a long time, and interestingly enough, it was one of the parents that I did parent coaching with who texted me this article a few weeks ago. So thank you to her. She knows who she is, and it really lit a fire under me to speak about this because I really do believe that there is a tragedy of mental health affecting young people and coming up in the next generation with our children. And as much as I detest blaming parents or making parents feel judged, I really believe that there's something that we can do in our own homes to positively affect the mental health and emotional stability of our children as they grow. And it's something that will actually help us too. So the article, this particular blog post is entitled, Can Chores Affect Your Child's Mental Health? And the answer, as you may have guessed, in my opinion, is yes, and in a very positive way. Not only can it positively affect your child's mental health, but it can positively affect the mood, the feeling in your home. When your children are being responsible, contributing to the household, contributing to the family, it makes everything run more smoothly. And I don't want you to be intimidated by it if you haven't started yet. You can start with your itty bitty littles when they're very, very small, even little toddlers. And if you haven't started yet and your kids are even approaching adolescence, you can make it happen. So we're just going to talk briefly about a couple of those things today. I do want to emphasize how important I believe this to be. There's lots of research that confirms or has found a correlation between the level of responsibility, the level of independence that children have, and how they end up feeling about themselves, their self-concept as they grow into adulthood. And we're seeing many, many issues with young adults that even when they self-report, it can be linked to the way that they were raised. So there's some simple things we can do as parents to rectify this. In Ms. Prouday's article, she did mention that some of the startling statistics, 1 in 5 children have mental health problems. There's a 43% increase in ADHD, a 37% increase in teen depression. So by adolescence, teens are truly clinically depressed. That's alarming. A 200% increase in suicide rates in kids 10 to 14 years old. So, do we believe that this can be rectified by something as simple as chores? Maybe that's simplifying things, but let's just talk about how changing your perspective on parenting by doing less for your children can really affect them emotionally and mentally. So one of the things that I truly believe is that when children have responsibilities in the home, some people call these chores, that is what creates one of the primary building blocks for a positive self-concept. That is a sense of belonging. A sense of belonging begins with the family. So a child feels that they have a place in the family when they contribute to the household. And that is very simple. It's really simple for children to understand. Sometimes we as parents think we're just trying to make things easier for them, and we love them and we're attentive and we want to help our children as much as possible, and sometimes we just want to speed things up and get out the door, frankly. But just giving our children little things to do really does make them feel that they have a place in the home and that they contribute. So that sense of belonging is one of the first stepping stones, one of the first building blocks to building that positive self-concept that will increase your child's mental health and emotional stability in the future. Another thing that can really be a factor is self-worth, building a sense of self-worth and independence. I am worth something. I am important to this operation of running this family. Being responsible for things actually builds a child's self-worth. It creates independence. And we know that if our children are going to be successful when they move on from our homes and are out in the world, they need to be independent and they need to have something else, basic life skills. Doing chores, having responsibilities in the home, teaches children basic life skills that they need to know. Knowing how to wash a dish or put a dish in the dishwasher, knowing how to do laundry, knowing the importance of, sweeping up or even just self-care, doing things for themselves like carrying their own backpack as opposed to mom or dad doing that for them. Unpacking their backpack at the end of the day if they're school-age kids, lining up their shoes, picking up their clothes off the floor even when they're teeny tiny, putting their toys away. All of those kinds of things really do teach children basic life skills, self-care, how to keep order. All of those things are important for young children and then children as they get older. So having chores in the home really is vital to lots of components of that build emotional stability and mental health, things that have been proven scientifically and brain science with young children. So it's important, it's proven. Now, how do we do it? Toddlers and preschoolers start young. This is one of the things that's really, really vital. If you still have littles, you can start now and it will make your life so much easier. There are so many chore charts and lists of age-appropriate chores. When I work with parents with parent coaching, I provide a list of age-appropriate chores for children, and I actually think there's one on the Bright Spot Parenting Pinterest page. If you want to go over there and search through some of those things, you could likely find one. You could find them online. But the thing that I think is important is that you choose to give your children chores that are appropriate for your home and family. Things that you believe your child can accomplish, but also things that you believe you can accomplish follow through on. So the most important thing you've heard before, follow through, follow through, follow through. You need to set the limits, you need to set the goals, you need to set the expectations, and in order to really make it happen with your children and create the habit, you need to be able to follow through. So don't give your children a responsibility in the home that you don't think you can reinforce and follow through on, because then you won't. And then, it will fall off and that'll just be frustrating for you and end up causing a conflict where there doesn't need to be one. So that's the most important thing. Yes, there are plenty of age-appropriate chores to choose from. Just make sure you choose to give your child things that you can actually stay on top of. I don't like lots of bells and whistles. Chore charts are great, but if you're doing things like that, make them simple. Keep it simple, keep it simple. For you and for your kids. School-age kids can do more than you may think they can. School-age kids can do a lot. My children vacuum, sweep, empty, unload the dishwasher, garbage, taking out the garbage. There's a variety of things. And again, make sure they're things that are actually helpful to you in your home. Your children having chores is not really teaching them the right lesson if it's not legitimately helpful. Again, remember the point is to make your children feel that sense of belonging, that sense of self-worth. They need to be actually contributing positively to the running of the household, and it should help you. So that, give them things to do that they can accomplish, and also that actually help you and the household. Now, if your kids are older and you haven't really implemented this yet and you're thinking to yourself, it's just such a hassle to make this happen, you can do it. Remember, when you're dealing with older children and you're starting something new but that you believe is important, speak with authority. Speak with authority. You're the parent. Even if it's new, you just say to them, this is the new thing. This is what we're doing. This is the way we're doing it now. Well, we've never done this before. You've never asked me to do this before. Okay, well, I'm asking you to do it now. Speak to your children with authority and follow through. Again, I'm always here if you need help, and hopefully you have someone in your village that can help you, give you a little boost and support. if you're not able to access that yourself, because sometimes it's hard, especially when you're meeting a lot of resistance from your child, which, let's be honest, if you're starting something new and your kids are older, you may meet a lot of resistance. So, get a little help and support, and there are certainly ways to begin if you haven't done it yet. It's really vital. That sense of responsibility, teaching your children that they need to contribute, that they need to care for themselves, is really vital. I think I mentioned to you guys when I was in the notary, and he said that there were kids coming from FAU who didn't know how to write a check, didn't know how to fill in an envelope. And aren't the schools teaching this anymore? And no, the schools aren't teaching it anymore. But also, I think we as parents are doing a lot for our kids. We're doing things that they really could be doing themselves. And when you do something for your child that they're capable of doing themselves, it diminishes their childhood experience. And I know that that's not our intention in any way. So if you have questions about this, if you want to talk more about it, if you have ideas for implementing chores, or just providing your children with a greater sense of responsibility, please leave those thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Remember that if you would like any additional support, you can go on brightspotparenting.com and click on Parent Coaching Consultations, and arrange a time for us to talk. If you live in the South Florida area, I can even come to your house. But again, I'd love to hear more about your ideas for this, hear your thoughts about it, and I wish you all warmth and blessings in dealing with your little people. Take care. See you next time.